right, so you got the Amazons, who were the Industry 4.0 companies, started from day one, Industry 4.0. So their business processes are already automated. So, but the vast majority of people, the people who need to go through the digital transformation and maturity assessment, the companies that will become Industry 4.0 companies, like if you don't want to be Kodak, Smith Corona, right? If you don't want to be those companies, right, then you have to transform. Right. There will, in 10 years from now, we're going to, 10 to 20 years from now, we're going to talk about who the casualties were of digital transformation, which companies didn't get it. Now we laugh at Kodak when they ignored digital camera technology for regular film technology. Think about just how ignorant of a chief executive officer you got to be to make that decision. Now we laugh. Everyone laughs. Oh, God, he was so stupid, But at that time, 50% or more of the market agreed with Kodak's decision. 50% or more of the people out there. So, that's why I sound so weird when I'm talking about digital transformation sometimes, because I'm out on an island. And when I point at Rockwell's connected enterprise, and I know that's never, or even PTC's approach to digital transformation, right? And I like PTC, and I think PTC has made better decisions than Rockwell did. The worst decision PTC made was the Rockwell partnership. I'll be honest with you there. But it may have made them money in the short term, but it's going to hurt them long term. Aviva's acquisition of OSI Soft, terrible decision. And they know that now for sure. But the people who laugh at some of the things that I say where I'm pointing at these companies, I'm the person who would have been pointing at Kodak in the late 70s on the digital camera piece. And that's really the equivalency here, right? But those companies who are going to transform, they are going to do it a very specific way. Okay, we know this. There are two types of companies that are digitally transforming out there. You have those who are going to McKinsey, Deloitte, Sesme. They're going to Rockwell. They're going to Schneider. They're going to Siemens, and they are asking those companies to guide them through their digital transformation journey. And all of them, every single one of those organizations, except for Sesme does go technology driven as opposed to solution. So I don't want to, Sesme, I like Sesme, and I think Sesme gets it right way more than they get it wrong. I just disagree with their assessment process. They're doing what's known as digital thread. Okay. And here's the fundamental flaw with going to Rockwell or Schneider or McKinsey or Deloitte or any of these companies to have them help you digitally transform. Here's the flaw in their documents, and I've read them all. I get hired to do peer reviews, and I basically point out the exact same thing. Number one, there is a fundamental principle of digital transformation where we know digital transformation is successful, and that is you treat all smart things in your business as a node in an ecosystem. Okay, so that is, and what is a node? It's a thing that can communicate into an ecosystem and it can consume. So we call that publish subscribe, but I'm not just sending information out. I'm not just sending data out for someone else to collect. I can also consume that data. The fundamental flaw in the digital thread, which is the approach that everyone takes, which is basically, or not everyone, but all the legacy companies take, is that what it assumes that data acquisition only goes in one direction. That the data in a PLC needs to eventually, let's shape it in the PLC as in the shape of a triangle or whatever, and then let's store it in our data lake as a triangle, and then let's consume it in our analysis layer. Let's do the triangle call to pull all the triangles out, and then let's visualize all the triangles in our UI layer. That's the digital thread. That's how Rockwell does it. That's how McKinsey recommends you do it. That's how all these companies recommend you do it. There is a simple reality out there. That isn't how Tesla does it. It's not how Amazon does it. Okay? That they don't do that. What they do is they treat all nodes in the ecosystem as all smart things as a node, a thing that sends data and consumes information. Okay? That this is a fundamental distinction. And like here, the best example I can give you is You have to consume raw events from a PLC to calculate overall equipment effectiveness. So an MES system, if I want to calculate OEE on a scale of 0 to 100, how efficient is my machine operating right now, based on availability on a scale of 0 to 100, quality on a 0 to 100, and production on a 0 to 100. I have to consume events from lots of places, right? So in order to do that calculation, I need to know what is my standard rate, what's my scheduled rate, what product am I running, what is the cycle time of the piece of equipment. So I'm getting that information from lots of places. Like some of it might come from the bill of materials, some of it might come from the ERP directly, it might come from some other system, could come from the LIMS system. The quality number, how let's say I do inspection of parts offline in a lab. Well, that's not on the machine itself. So if I want to calculate OEE, I've got to get the number of bad parts from the lab inspections, from those samples. That's going to be in some quality system. You have to be able to put all that stuff together, right? Digital thread is basically you consume from those systems, you put all the ETL, extract, transform, load, right? Well, that only goes in one direction. But what if I want to use the OEE calculation inside of the PLC for some piece of automation code, right? Well, now what I'm going to do, because my infrastructure isn't designed by default to make that possible for the PLC easily, okay? Now what I've got to do is for that very specific use case, I've got to create some integration. I got to put an engineer between where the OEE number is and my PLC, and I have to have them engineer an integration. And whether or not I do that is a function of how high the value it is I calculate for the PLC to know that piece of information. The flaw in the digital thread is that the digital thread does not assume that all smart things in the ecosystem may be interested in any piece of data or any piece of information within the business. Okay, that's number one. So that's a problem with that. So what's the most effective way to do it? Well, the most effective way is this strategy we've created over the last 10 years. Now, I didn't just pull it out of my butt, okay? Part of it was experience, okay? Part of it was looking at the companies who got it right. Yeah, looking at how does Tesla do things. I remember looking at the Model S line in 2013, when they were putting the MES system on that line. I remember looking at the way that the digital ecosystem operated or was constructed and thinking, no one else does this. Like, I had no doubt in 2013 Tesla was going to be a transformative organization. And all the people who are still like Tesla haters, the moment someone tells me they're a Tesla hater, I know they don't know what they're talking about. I know it immediately. Because anybody who goes to a gigafactory and walks on the plant floor, especially anyone in automotive, if you go to a gigafactory and you walk on the plant floor and you go from one side to the other, and you have one of their controls engineers explain to you how that plant is integrated, you walk out on the other side of that plant saying, we're out of fucking business. We're out of business. So here is what works, okay? If you're an Industry 3.0 company and you're going to digitally transform, you're going to do it in 2 steps. All right, hey gang, as a quick reminder, if you want to sign up for our MES Bootcamp, which is starting in September and running through the end of November, where we're going to teach you how to build your own manufacturing execution system with core capabilities, go to iiot.university or click on the link up here, and I'll see you guys in the very first session.